last time I looked at this Mortal Kombat show, I reviewed my favorite Scorpion episode, so today I'm going to review my favorite Sub-Zero episode. So we get a refresher at the beginning that in a nutshell shows us the death of Kung Lao's girlfriend, and we hear about Shang Tsung's obsession with Kung Lao. Also, I think I need a running tally in this show of how many people Scorpion actually killed while this was on the air. But in any event, we cut to this random guy that's in this temple doing katas. We see the Lin Kuei logo on the ground, so we can just assume that this is the actual Lin Kuei. So we get this weird ritual taking place. So they're putting hot coals into this pot. Then they drop the hot coals onto this guy's back, and he tries to ease the pain of the hot coal by actually freezing the wounds. This ritual apparently is done to help to teach him to endure suffering. Okay, I guess. Then the Lin Kuei Grandmaster gets choked out, and we get inscriptions apparently being done by Shang Tsung. So we cut to Zero, Taja, and Kung Lao. Zero and Taja are questioning whether or not they even believe in all the Mortal Kombat nonsense. And Kung Lao's reflecting on how he's having a hard time training new fighters to actually believe in his cause, which is basically to fight to their death. So we're back in Shusen. They come to the trading post, which is their brand new home. Taja finds that the trading post has already been broken into on their first day there. And then suddenly this happens. Taja gets knocked out. Right before this random Lin Kuei NPC kills her, Kung Lao and Zero shows back up. For this to be some random character, he's actually doing pretty good. Anyways, with the help of Taja, who regains consciousness, I guess, they finally knock him out. Zero recognizes that this is a Lin Kuei ninja, or Lin Kuei fighter, I forget, they're not ninjas. It's the most gangster thing I've ever seen in my life. So Zero is looking for answers and threatens to torture the guy. He says he's having none of that, and he snaps his own neck. So while Zero disposes of the body, Kung Lao goes upstairs and reminisces about his dead girlfriend. This took a turn. So now we cut to Outworld, where Shang Tsung is leaving instructions for the Lin Kuei, while Vorpax, that's her name, I didn't make this up, is intervening and annoying him while he's trying to do his work. Oh god, I remember this scene too, and this is horrible, but whatever, I'm reviewing this episode, so I gotta explain it. So Shang Tsung says he's using the Lin Kuei to retrieve something for him. Vorpax is asking a bunch of nosy questions as to why Shang Tsung's using the Lin Kuei or what he's after. He's not trying to explain it to her at all. To get answers from Shang Tsung, Vorpax tries to seduce him, but it doesn't necessarily go well. And what happens next is just heavily implied. I'll just let your minds wander, but this isn't looking good at all. How is this TV show coming on in the middle of the afternoon back in the 90s? That's insane. Anyways, cut to Taja, and she's trying to flee from the trading post. I guess one close call with murder is all that she needs to take before she leaves. I don't necessarily blame her. Zero mocks her for being a thief. Somehow this triggers her enough to want to stay. If I was her, I would have just owned it and been like, deuces. I don't know why she bought into this and is trying to stay here with these two idiots, but whatever. So Kung Lao goes to meet with Raiden. So we cut to the one forest on this TV show where Kung Lao's upset with Raiden because he's not arriving every time he calls for him, which I kind of get that. That would be pretty annoying if I was Raiden. So Kung Lao's asking questions about what the Lin Kuei is doing invading the trading post. Once again, Raiden has no answers and is not trying to help Kung Lao figure it out, which, once again, don't understand why Raiden would know this information. Raiden's trying to convince Kung Lao to think for himself, which he really needs to at this point. So we cut to more Sub-Zero training. This jerk tries to throw scalding hot water on Sub-Zero and he freezes it in the air before it can attack him. Then he punishes Sub-Zero for actually trying to freeze it. What? Is he just supposed to get burned? I don't understand what they wanted him to do in this scenario. Very weird training in the Lin Kuei. I do actually appreciate the fact that they used the real Lin Kuei insignia, by the way. That's actually pretty cool considering that I'm not sure if it was established what that logo was in Mortal Kombat yet, at least in the games, so kudos to the show for that. I believe that same logo is still used in the games to this day. So we have Taja stealing stuff as they're trying to find whatever it was that the Lin Kuei ninja was looking for. I keep saying Lin Kuei ninja. It is what it is, I'm not breaking that habit. So as they're trying to figure this out, they get attacked for the second time. This time from gray Lin Kuei ninjas, that's not Smoke. Kung Lao arrives, he finds Taja and Zero unconscious, and he fights off the Lin Kuei ninjas. Of course, he's the great Kung Lao, so he destroys them with relative ease. Taja's trying to recover from her second beating at the hands of the Lin Kuei. This is why I said she should have left when she had the chance, but whatever. So Zero goes to track the Lin Kuei ninjas down. What he's planning to do, who knows, but he's at least going to track them down to find out where they're located at. He arrives at the Lin Kuei temple just in time to see this fighter get blessed with his official Lin Kuei outfit. And as he's watching this Lin Kuei training session, he gets his first chance to see the very first appearance of Sub-Zero. So, they bring up the two fighters who failed at assassinating Kung Lao and his friends at the trading post. So we get this. God, these special effects are horrible. Still possibly better than Mortal Kombat Annihilation. And Sub-Zero is now sent to the trading post. So Kung Lao and Taja are still looking for whatever it was that the Lin Kuei was trying to find. Taja discovers a trapdoor, but she knows that there's a mechanism of something that activates the trapdoor, but they can't find what it is. They casually discover upon hitting a globe that that's the mechanism that sends this crystal out. Like a child, Taja just starts playing with the crystal, and this happens. So they put that away. Just in time for Zero to arrive, and he brought a guest. That guest, of course, being Sub-Zero, and we almost get Taja getting messed up for the third time in this episode. So, Sub-Zero actually gets the crystal that they're looking for as the ice on Taja's arm starts burning her. And we get Sub-Zero fighting Zero and Kung Lao. Apparently Sub-Zero's ice powers are new to him, so it's actually causing him pain each time he uses them. You would think they would send him after he's figured that part out. What happened to all that learning to endure crap, but whatever. Sub-Zero has already dropped the crystal. And these three come up with the idea to separate the fight Sub-Zero so that it goats him into actually using his ice powers more often. Of course, he obliges by throwing one at each of them for no reason. Before he can try anything again, Raiden shows up, and this causes Sub-Zero to retreat. Obviously, it's 4-on-1. I don't know why he went there without help. The Lin Kuei themselves are actually doing a decent enough job. If they just sent them with Sub-Zero, I'm pretty sure they probably could have killed them and got the crystal, but whatever. So Kung Lao reveals that they were after the crystal, and Raiden wants the crystal from them. Kung Lao tells Raiden that he's finally thinking for himself and he's decided to keep the crystal. This pisses Raiden off for obvious reasons. Though technically he did tell Kung Lao to start thinking for himself, and this is what you get, though if I'm being honest, it probably would have been better if he just gave it to Raiden. Then again, they kinda did need the crystal down the line on numerous occasions, so who knows. Then we cut back to the Lin Kuei, where Sub-Zero wants a second chance to go back to the trading post to kill everybody, and they decide to bide their time and then try to attack them another day, as creepy Sub-Zero just watches the trading post from up above. And that's the end of the episode. Once again, not the greatest episode of Mortal Kombat Conquest in the world, but also not the worst. Considering at this point in time we didn't have many Sub-Zero origin stories, wasn't really that bad of an episode for Mortal Kombat. Let me know what you think.